everyone, so here it is. I had a few requests on how to do some panels on the car, so I'm going to do the fender right now. It's all prepped already, wiped it down pretty thoroughly. It's an old car, so it's really dirty. Wipe everything down with isopropyl alcohol. Obviously I wash the car first, and then I make sure you get in all these edges right here with with a microfiber cloth and one of these squeegees. So make sure you put a little isopropyl alcohol on one of these, and then take your squeegee and just get it right in there. I masking tape everything that's on the opposite side of where I'm going to cut so that I don't cut into the paint. It also allows the vinyl to slide off and into this crevice here much easier than if you didn't have the tape on here. Down here I don't have any tape because I'm going to cut right on this rubber seal here. This seal is not removable, otherwise I would have removed it. This is two-sided taped on, so we'll start. I also taped up here, and I don't tape on the opposite side of the door because I'm going to cut basically in between this crevice here and then fold around. So in order to lay out a panel by yourself, you're going to want to roll up your piece of vinyl. That should be cut to the approximate size of the panel that you're going to lay it down on. Alright. So what I do is I peel a little bit of the backing off. Make sure your hands are pretty clean. Mine are not that clean, but I know where to touch the vinyl. You can always wash your hands or wipe your hands off with the isopropyl alcohol. It'll remove any oil from your hands. Every stick's pretty good either way, so it's not one of those things you really need to worry about if you're using a good quality vinyl. I also use a wrap glove so that I don't get any grease. This is the hand that I grab with most of the time, so I don't get any grease or oil from my hands on the vinyl. So I'm just going to get it approximately where we need it, and we'll reposition afterwards once we get the backing off. Try and roll it out as smooth as possible. Like I said, we're going to get it generally where it needs to go. Stick it right here. All right. So what you're going to do here is to contour around the fender properly, you're going to want to heat this up. Don't heat too far over here. Heat more in a large general area, and keep even tension on the vinyl itself. All these wrinkles will go away once I apply even tension to the vinyl. Oops. No big deal. So now what you want to do is you want to get it as smooth as possible. Some guys have different techniques where they like to let the vinyl completely relax. I like to keep it tight on opposite edges, so the door, this rocker panel down here, bottom of the bumper, over the fender, I find it's easier to work with that way. So now that we have the wrinkles going up, it's going to be easier. Hopefully this turns out well, this video. I don't know if it's kind of dark in here or not. I can see. So now we have the wrinkles going up or across. We can just lift the vinyl, use my glove underneath, and then reposition so that we're pretty much wrinkle free right now. So what will happen now that it's kind of tight around the edges, you're going to have to lift a little bit to let the air out for the most part. The air will just come out. So, but once you get close to the edges, you might find that you'll get get some bubbles. I'll show you along the way here though. Just need to squeegee. There it is. Alright. You see how easy wrinkles just kind of go away. And I like to start on edges like this and work my way out, and then I'll work my way down afterwards. And I'll go about halfway through here so that I can work up or down if needed. If I do get something that jams me up here, like if I do get a wrinkle, I'll be able to lift from here, pull from the bottom, or lift from the top, pull from the top, and get that wrinkle out. It should be pretty much wrinkle free, as long as you're using a good, decent squeegee with a felt tip. You'll notice as you get closer to the edge, the air won't come out quite as easily, just because all these edges are tight right now. And this is why guys like to have it relaxed. I prefer to work with it this way. And that's just me. And this is how I'm going to teach you guys. When I get to areas like here, I'll lift the vinyl up a little bit. We'll worry about all the edges afterwards once we get all of this laid out. See, this wrinkle here could jam you up, but you just go over with your finger lightly, and you're good to go. Vinyl will get some streaks from the squeegee. They come out in the sun, they come out with a little bit of heat, or it's a little detail afterwards. So you think that I have a problem here, but I don't. Relax the vinyl, pull it up. Add a little heat just to reset it. Give it a nice fender meets the bumper. Make sure go all the way around here, nice and tight. Everything looks good. Pretty straightforward. Fender's already down. This is where this is probably the harder part of everything, is cutting. You're going to want to relax the vinyl obviously around here. So we'll cut around the wheel. A lot of tension there right now. Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold, so if I'm sniffling a little bit, don't mind me. Leave some tension here. Leave tension here. And we'll start cutting. Nice and slow. Keep your blade flat against the door. It leaves you with about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more. But it'll give you a nice straight cut. For down here, this is where you're going to want the vinyl to relax. So, lift it above the seal. And I'm going to, you can see that, I'm going to push it nice and tight to that seal, because I'm going to try and cut as close to that seal as possible. This is where the detail lies, with no white showing. So I'm going to finish up this edge up here. Try not to leave too much excess around your edges. Tuck that in while it's relaxed. I'm getting a phone call. Hello? This is Christian. Okay, yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, if you can send me the link, you can just text it to my number here. Yeah. And then I'll have a look at it, I'll get back to you. I'm just in the middle of doing a car right now, but yeah, I'll get back to you sometime today. Okay, Nash, take care. Bye. To cut around when I cut the corners, so it folds really nicely. Make sure your blade tip is very sharp. Last thing you want to do is go in with a dull blade. Just make life easier having a sharp knife. the tension here, the vinyl kind of automatically wraps itself under this edge around this corner here. Makes it a nice tight corner, and really durable. I'll just get this pushed in here. Give this a little pull. So what I'll do here is heat it and push it around. By pushing it around, heating it, molds it around the corner really nicely, which gives you a nice paint-like finish. You know, heat here a little bit. Post-heating the edges is really important, because edges can be, even no matter how thorough you clean it, can still have dirt and grime behind it. Post-heating the edge will ensure that it lasts a lot longer. So we're looking good. We're looking good. Alright, because the hood is so tight here, it's a bit tricky, so I'm going to come lift this up again a little bit. Get that wrinkle out of there. Cut on the bottom side. So we need some tension here. There. This is where the wrap glove comes in handy, because you can just contour really well here. You can use a squeegee, but then you'll have to keep pushing down. So we're going to get rid of this. You don't need to go in too far. I like to go in a little bit further than most. Because the headlight has a seal around it, I'm gonna cut that off there. Hopefully there's enough light here for you guys. And what I'm gonna do here is relax it around this edge. This is a very tight edge. I didn't loosen the bumper, so I'm just gonna stick it in there. If you really want to get in there nicely, if you're unsure about what your skill level is, then you can loosen the bumper a little bit. I didn't in this case. I'm pretty confident in my ability, so to have this last and to get the vinyl in there far enough. And I have this nice little thin squeegee. This is actually something you use for window tinting. shops will have these kicking around. So the vinyl is relaxed in this edge. And then when you're cutting, you're going to be very careful. I'm going to start here and go down a little bit on a bit of an angle. And then just with the tip of the blade. I'm applying nearly no pressure here. The blade is just gliding along this edge. Now this is an edge you're definitely going to want to post heat. You don't really run into bumpers or bumper to fender that's this tight. Usually there's a bit more of a gap than that, but this is what I'm working with. This fender's a bit more tricky. It goes in a little bit further. As you can see kind of here, if you don't go down far enough, you'll show the color of the car. And we don't want that. So as soon as I hit this seal, I'm going to cut over the seal. So let's just check that. How far down we need to go. Okay, so we're down there. Let's cut a little bit extra because we're going to be tucking into here. You'll notice each seal is a little bit different. Some are easier to tuck into, some are very difficult. This is a nice soft seal, so we'll be able to tuck in there nicely. Again, tip of the blade. Nice and light. Steady hands. Run that out. Again, just relax that. Tuck it in there nicely. Trim it up. So we can get a nice, perfect paint-like finish. And this, sticking right in there. Simple. I've already cleaned in here with microfiber cloth and isopropyl alcohol to make sure that this vinyl will stick once we get it pushed in there. And it will never come out. Until you're ready to take it off, of course. Alright. Have a seat if it's easier. Make sure we're tight to the seal. I don't want any white showing. White's a hard color to cover up, as it is. Grab a light. nice light even pressure. Start manipulating this a little bit. If you can get your hands on one of these gloves, I highly recommend it. I think they're about 10 bucks. I go through them like one a car, pretty much. Totally worth it though. They're heat resistant, so really hard to burn your hand with a heat gun. Takes a lot of heat. And it's a 350 degree, 400 degree heat gun. Takes a lot of heat. So. It's a very difficult seal to do. It's too tight. I can't stick the vinyl in anything, so I have to make sure I cut as close as possible. It's getting dull. Just take your time, there's no rush. Use my thumb to guide usually, or finger. I'm going to cut off a little excess so I can tuck it in that plastic fender guard, or wheel well guard. Peel it back a little bit. that's it. We'll finish this up over here. We're finished. That's how you do your fender.